Let's go to the Buffalo, New York. Dr. Jerry. What's up, Jerry?
Hi, Dr. D.
How are you?
Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm upright and breathing, so it's a good day.
That's a good one. Excellent. What's happening? What's up?
Oh, I am having issues with my adult daughter.
Okay.
The last few years, it's gotten way worse. We have, constant blow-ups, and then we'll sit down and talk, and things will be better for a while. I find myself walking on eggshells around her, but we kind of get through it.
Is she an addict? Does she use?
No,
okay.
No, not at all. She's very, very angry.
Why is she angry?
And some
with
of
you?
it's from my ex-husband. When she was growing up, they had a relationship where they were either really getting along or they really weren't. And they were in an argument one day, and he pushed her, and she feels I didn't do anything about it. She's right. I should have left right then and there.
Yeah.
Okay. But the last time that we had this a blow up, the blow ups are over other things, but it always goes back to, deep down she's angry with me, and I get it.
Yeah. And
I've apologized, and I've offered to, I've asked her to please go to counseling, because I use your analogy of you're drinking poison waiting for him to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So it's gotten even worse in the last year and a half. She left her husband. She got really angry because we were also friends with him. So our point was, well, he's the father of our grandchild. So we gave in, and none of us are friends with him anymore. We keep our distance. But every time we have these blow-ups, she won't let me see the grandchildren.
Why do you keep having blow-ups with her?
It's always something, like the slightest thing will just set her off.
I know, but you know those things. Why do you engage her?
Yes.
Why?
I don't think I do. I like I told you, I tiptoe around her, and I hate that feeling. But I know what sets her off. The problem is, she has a very, very good relationship with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
She, doesn't have a good relationship with her dad. She confides in my husband, and I love seeing her have somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think him and I have been talking the last couple of weeks, because I'm really at a crossroads. I don't know what to do. I think he fuels the fire. Like, he doesn't understand, he says little things to her that I would never, I confide in him. And then I don't think he means to, leak things to her, but there are things that I know are going to set her off. An example is, she asked me to go to dinner with her a couple of months ago, which we used to do everything together when she was little. I mean, we baked, we exercised, we shopped, we did everything together. I was there for both of the kids. I was in the room when both of them were born. But like a couple of months ago, she had asked me to go out to dinner. And like I said, we've been strained the last, 2 or 3 years. So I said to my husband, I'm like, that's kind of odd. I'm like, it's nice. Yes, I want to go to dinner. I'm like, and, I was hoping for good things. Well, he said something to her that, he's like, I don't know why you two question each other. So then she got mad at me because I questioned why she wanted to go out to dinner.
So your husband is not at fault here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's very much a fixer.
Yeah, I know, but let me just, I want you just to settle in for a second, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whether she knows it or not, there's still a little girl in there wondering, what was it about that guy that was more important than me when I was little?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why did my mom pick him over me? And the way you said that when things were good, they were so good, and they were bad, they were real bad.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens with a kid, there is no real good. And that usually is somebody trying to balance out their inaction. or excuse some of their inaction. Okay. You said it. You're right. You should have left. You should have left before he pushed her. But here we are. I also know, not firsthand, but I've sat with enough people to know the fear of being a single parent, the economic insecurity, I understand the plight women have to go through to eat I get it. It's a mess. And it's easy to look back 25 or 30 years later and go, I should have. And in the middle of it, you start to think, well, the next stop is the back of our station wagon. And I don't have it right. And so here we are now. And we used to do everything together. Cool. That is in the past. And the more you go back to there, you are choosing to drink poison. We got to be right here, right now. You're walking on eggshells around her is a anxiety response. She cannot anchor into you because you're not fully present. You keep secrets from her. You don't tell her the truth. You don't tell her everything. And when you don't, she knows it. She knows she's being angry and unreasonable and annoying and frustrated. She knows that. And she also knows mom's not telling me the truth. And mom's still trying to treat me like I'm 10. Think about it. She left. Or let me say it this way. You might think you're a safe place. Her behavior is telling us all that she does not see that.
Right.
Okay? So the goal is less, how do I get her to do what I want? The goal is, how do I become a safe place for her? Not a doormat.
Yeah.
How do I become a safe place?
And that's what I'm looking for. I don't have the tools to, our last blow up. She's very much a yeller, and I told her, I understand if you're upset with me, but please sit down and talk to me. So we did. We sat and talked for 3 hours, and I thought we really got to a much better place. And I told her, I can't go back and fix anything I've done. I was a young mother. I had no idea what I was doing.
That's right.
I said, I can't fix any of that, but what I can do is do better going forward. And
here's the hard part. Here's the hard part.
Yeah.
What you just said is gold. It's such a gift. And that's the extent of what you can do. And if she chooses to not plug back in, that's a choice she's making.
Right.
And it hurts like bloody hell.
It does. It does, because I want to be a good grandmother.
Of course.
I listen to a lot, and the things I made a million mistakes when my kids were growing up. I have a very good relationship with my son.
Don't compare.
The opposite.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to do that. I want to fix for her and I. I want to be there for her. I don't want to see her hurting like this.
That's right.
I mean, she's definitely hurting, and I hate seeing that. And the other thing is every time she knows the one thing that she can get to me with is these grandchildren, and they're seeing this. And they're looking, I can't get through to her that they're seeing how to treat a mother. When they get older, I don't want to see them doing this to you.
Right.
And you're showing them how to be, what to be to women and their future wives.
That's true. But flip around the other side. I've been really frustrated with my parents before. Real frustrated, actually. I've never once thought I need to keep my kids from them.
Exactly. And I said,
hold on.
Okay.
It could be that she's evil. She's just evil. And she's weaponizing her children to get back at her mother for something her mother did 25 years ago. I don't think that's the case. I think that she doesn't think you're safe.
Okay. I can agree with that.
And so don't demonize her, even if she's doing stupid things.
Okay.
Let's go back to the basics, the OG basics. What can you control? Your thoughts and your actions. That's it.
Okay.
You cannot control this young girl. You've been trying her whole life, and you can't. And you also can't go back and undo what happened. It happened. You got to own it. And you have, which is impressive. But what you haven't done is started trying to write something new. You keep trying to go back and edit it. I know, right? You got it. Happened. It is. And these grandkids are not your redemption story. They're not your do-over. They're new people.
Right.
They're new people. And
Mhm.
so I would sit down and really map out what are my boundaries. And a gift for her that's not going to feel like a gift at first is saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna do blow ups with you anymore. I love you too much, and I'm not interested in going to
Mhm.
war with you. I'm interested in loving you and being a safe place." You've
Okay.
never been a safe place. I know, but I'm
Yeah.
working on it now. And so when you raise your voice, that's you choosing to end a conversation with me.
Okay.
And these 3-hour marathons feel so cathartic, but they're not accomplishing anything.
Okay.
Are they?
I thought
You feel
I thought
better. You feel better.
yeah.
But when you're
Yes.
talking to somebody in fight or flight, you're not. They're calming down, but there's no resolution.
Okay.
And a lot of times the resolution after one of those 3-hour marathon talks is people are exhausted. They're tired. They're
Yes.
dropping their shoulders for the first time in a long time because their bodies aren't at
Mhm.
war. And then the next, you got to do those things. You got to teach your body over time. There's not this one big conversation that's going to accomplish everything. But
Right.
again, you're trying to find the right thing to say, trying to find the right thing to do, trying to find. Your daughter
Yeah.
feels that you're trying to puppet master still after all these years. And it's going to be you
Yeah.
saying, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I love you too much. I love those kids too much. I love you. I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah. I can feel the anxiety when we're together, and it never used to be like that. But
I want you to take full ownership. I have found myself getting anxious around my own daughter. And
yes.
you should be the one safe place for me besides my husband. And
Yes.
that's on me. I'm going to stop being anxious around you. But that also means you're going to stop. I'm not. I'm just going to choose to opt out when you yell because I'm worth more
Okay.
than that. And I'm going to choose to opt out when you swear at me. And if you choose to take the grandkids away, I'm going to choose to have my heart broken. But I'm not going to fight you. I'm just not going to fight you anymore.
Well, and that's where I'm at. Like I'm not okay not seeing these grandkids for
But you
10 years.
don't get a vote, Jerry.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get a vote.
And my husband, he's pushing me to reach back out to her, and I want to. And I told him, I said, I know this sounds cheesy, but before I reach back out to her, I feel like I need to work on me a little bit. Like this is just a cycle that I want to get out of.
So maybe you can do both. It's not an either or.
Okay.
Maybe you reach out and say, even take a disproportionate amount of the blame.
Okay.
But I would have a conversation with her that's really somewhat Jerry centric, very you centered.
Okay.
I'm sorry how I've acted. And I'm your mom and I feel anxious around you and I'm not doing that anymore because I love you too much. This isn't
Okay.
war. You're my daughter. And I'm committed to my own growth. I can't change you. I can't change your decisions to take the kids away, but I can become a safer place. And
Okay.
by becoming a safer place, I'm going to have boundaries. And if you don't like the boundaries, that's fine. But I'm just not going to fight you anymore. And I'm going to see my own counselor. I'm going to go work on me. And I'd love for you to come with me. And if you don't want to, great.
Yeah.
Cool. But here's the thing. She will naturally be drawn to you like a tractor beam the more stable and safe and firm you feel.
Okay.
Okay? The more you're trying to have a new plan and you read a new book and read a new Instagram post and you're going to fix her on that, dude, she can feel it 100 miles away.
Okay.
And think about how much more peaceful of a life you're going to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm at a crossroads. Like I can't feel like this anymore.
Set the swords down. Just set them down.
Yeah.
No more fighting. I'm not going to do blow-ups. I'm not going to do war. I'm not going to do any of it. I will be gut-wrenched if you don't let me see the kids. But I also know they're your kids, and I can't fight you over them. Right. And if they're ever being abused or unsafe, I'm going to call every authority I have. But you don't have to bring that up in this conversation.
Right. And no, I mean, it's not a situation like that. It's exhausting.
It's
And I know it's
exhausting.
exhausting for her too. And I want to be able to help her. Like she, she works full time and she does very well. She's, but I want to be able to help her. If she needs
I know,
a
but
couple
Jerry,
hours away from the
she's not
kids.
asking for your help. And
I know.
you have to
I know.
reconcile that. The more you try to insert yourself into her life, the more it's just going to be an electrified situation. The
Yeah.
more you become a safe place, the more you're going to end up seeing those grandkids, the more you're going to end up seeing her. And the more y'all are going to be able to heal your relationship.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
I heard over the weekend, I don't know how much truth this is. I was at an event in Phoenix and somebody was telling me that, I think it's where I think, anyway, it doesn't matter where I heard it. That remember old Gorbachev and Ronald Reagan when they were figuring out communism and capitalism and they were meeting and they were in a heated argument about how stupid your capitalism is and how damaging your communism is. A back and forth in the room. They said was getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Like two egotistical world leaders getting ready to get pushed over the edge, right? And out of nowhere, they said Reagan disengages and walks away, which is a very strange move. Okay. And they said he walked away and was gone for a minute and then circled back and walked back in with a huge smile on his face and an outstretched hand, like to shake his hand. And he said something like, "Hey, Mikey, my name's Ronnie. How you doing?" And they both started laughing. And he reset it. "I'm not fighting you. We got to be friends."
Yeah.
That's the only way this thing works moving forward, right? Or everybody ends up in ash. And again, I don't know how much of that story is folklore. I don't know how much of that story is real, but the sentiment behind it is true. There comes a moment when we get so angry and so frustrated, we fall over the edge. And before you fall over the edge, you're the adult, you're the mom, you're the parent. She's an adult too, but you're the parent. I'm stepping away. I'm going to circle back. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to come back in with a smile and say, this is different from this point forward. And you are going to sleep better. Yeah. Because you're tired of war too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I meant by I need to work on me. I mean, obviously I'm, pushing buttons and you're right. I tried to edit the past and I'm the one that told her I can't do that. I can't fix any of it, but I can do better going forward. And I still go to the past.
And your going forward is trying to erase the past and rewrite it. Can't do that. Your going forward is you trying to acutely insert yourself into her life, which she has not asked for. You trying to give her parenting advice and mothering advice and help. I'll help you. I'm not asking for your help. I just want my mom.
Yeah.
And you have a picture in your head of what grandmas are supposed to be doing with their kids. And that's not the picture that your daughter has. And if you want to be in a relationship with her and your grandkids, her picture is the one that's going to matter. It's like when somebody says, "Hey, my kids decided they're not coming up for Christmas. I'm so ticked off. I'm pissed. I'm going to call them." Why? Because they're not going to come for Christmas either.
Yeah.
And that's it. All of that is an antidote to sitting down, to not wanting to sit down and go, "I'm really sad that my kids aren't going to be here for Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving is going to look different. Now I'm going to have to invite people over and it's going to be kind of boring or weird." Right? I got to deal with the reality part. And so I'd love to see you create an anti-war document that is full of your boundaries. Here's what I'm not going to tolerate. You can't cuss at me. You can't just show up here in the middle of the night. If I find out you're using or the kids aren't safe, I'm going to call you on it. Here's my boundaries. And then I think your husband's right. Reach out. But the reaching out is a declaration of peace, and it's a declaration of I'm changing, and I love you. And here's the deal: that's all you got left. And everybody listening to this, if you find yourself like Jerry, what you're talking about is so common. It's common in marriages. It's common between parents and young kids. It just turns into this cycle of, I will defeat you. I will solve you. I've got bigger muscles than you. I've got more power than you. And it just ends in ashes. And at some point, someone's got to back out and just say, "Hey, Control, Alt, Delete, reset. I'm not going to war with you anymore. I'm choosing a path of peace, and here's what this is going to look like. And you'll sleep, and they'll sleep, and that is the soil of new trees. I'm proud of you, Jerry. It's going to be tough because you're going to have to unlearn a whole bunch of actions. You're going to have to learn how to breathe. You're going to have to learn how to get up and walk away. You're going to have to learn how to get in a car and not have had the last word. And you're also going to have to learn how to be a grandma because you're going to start seeing those kids more and more the safer your daughter feels around you. You can do this. You can do this.